What up, it's your girl Najee. Everybody hates K, but everything golden. And you're listening to T7M Radio with my man's Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah.
T7M Radio, this is the best of 7 sports talk. Rocking out, got your host 7 Mitchell here, me and J.O. locked and loaded, man. Salute, J.O. What's poppin', big homie?
Yo, man, eyes arrived, man. We gotta little
What was your overall opinion on Week 3 NFL action, J.O.?
Any given Sunday, man. That pretty much sums up Week 3.
If I had to put a headline on Week 3 of the NFL, it would definitely be Fool's Gold. Pittsburgh taking a loss that they took to Philly. A couple other games, man. We got a lot to talk about, so the lines is lit. We're going to bring the streets on, talk our shit, man. Let's do what we came to do, man. Here on the best of 7 sports talk. T7M Radio callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. J.O., let's talk America's team, Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott led scoring drives on about, I think, all 4 Dallas possessions in the first half, J.O., throwing his first career touchdown pass yesterday, leading the Dallas Cowboys over Jay Cutler and the Chicago Bears 31-17 Sunday night. What was your thoughts on Dak Prescott's performance?
Dak Prescott played a bottom 5 team in the Chicago Bears. I was thoroughly impressed. He definitely has won me over. You know, I was kind of on the fence with him, and man, I just, his release and his footwork and his poise, I was thoroughly impressed, and I think he is officially the quarterback of the future.
You know, I told you when we did predictions for Week 3, I said the showcase for Dak Prescott is going to begin this upcoming Sunday. Whether they decide to keep Romo for another year and possibly shop Dak next year, or if they decide to go with Dak for the remainder of the season. I think the showcase started yesterday, and, you know, he was 248 yards, 2 scorings. He threw 1, he ran in for 1. He lost Cole Beasley and I think Des Bryant on the first drive, and he still was able to pull off a score. He was very impressive. You know, he looked very poised. You know, we talked about Chicago's defense, Chicago's overall team, so you make a good point about the lackluster competition, but, you know, for what it's worth, man, he definitely putting on and he getting the W's. I was very impressed with Dak Prescott, 19 for 24. What I am questionable about with Dallas, of course, is that defense. We had another powerhouse NFC East matchup, of course, the New York Football Giants versus the Washington Redskins. This was part 2 of the Josh Norman versus Odell Beckham Jr. The Washington Redskins pulled off a 29-27 win over the Giants. What was your thoughts about that game? What was your take?
I thought the Giants blew it. I think the Giants is a better team, but I thought they waited too late in the game to start giving Odell Beckham some touches. It seemed like he won his battle with Josh Norman, and I wish they would have exploited that matchup more often. Eli he throws so many red zone interceptions, so many bad timing interceptions. It just really broke their backs in the fourth quarter.
I will drug test you right now. on this show. We're going to get into it right now. You feel like he got the best of Josh Norman? No way. Clearly. No way. I mean, he had 6 receptions for 107 yards, but, you know, they were all irrelevant catches. He didn't score a touchdown. We saw how he reacted off on the sidelines. Like, Josh Norman was all in his head. He dropped the ball. He had offensive pass interference, and then the Redskins won. Clearly, Josh Norman got one up on ODB yesterday. I think ODB is overrated. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. And I'm feeling that way, but I kept it quiet, and I know what you're going to say. But I needed this game to go out the way I told you that Josh Norman was going to have to do something special. ODB has been known for that great catch that he made 2 years ago. Now, the big question was, how is he going to come and play a full season? So people didn't know if he was a good receiver or not. He had a decent year last year. He had some more good catches. He was good. But he's not an elite wide receiver to me when it comes to the production. I mean, he has great skills, But I think he a little bit overrated, J.O., and it clearly showed yesterday. Like, he's getting rattled and shit like that, like he hasn't grown from last year.
Wait a minute. You are so rude, disrespectful, and insulting to say he's overrated, and Josh Norman had the best. Wait a minute. Since when was a receiver get over 100 yards on you where you get the best of him? And last year was an incredible season.
When you really
ODB he lost. Okay, his quarterback threw some interception. That's nothing he can do about that.
He had an offensive pass interference on Josh Norman. He had a drop on Josh Norman. He didn't score none of the game. This is their number one wide receiver.
He put the ball at the 3-yard line where, if I can remember, they scored. So, I mean, he put his team in position to win. He can't win it by himself.
Come on, J.O. Josh Norman, if I'm not mistaken, he even got the New York Giants center thrown out the game. I mean, you talk about putting your team in position to win. We always talk about how Josh Norman, his mouth seems to be his biggest skill set when it comes to his package on the field. But it worked for him so much. I mean, he had all the key pieces right.
No, he didn't route anybody. He was getting torched. And he's lucky that Eli Manning put out the fire, because he was on flames, and Eli just helped him out and got him off the hook. So he was, it looked like a backdraft movie when he was guarding Odell 1-on-1. So,
well, see, this is where the fool's gold thing come into play with me with this game, because Kirk Cousins was 21 for 35, 296 yards. He had a couple touchdowns. Eli was 25 for 38, 350 yards. I think he had maybe 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. So on paper, Kirk Cousins had a better game than Eli. But I've been said that, for the record, Eli is going to have a good year this season. I even got NFC to be represented by the Giants in the Super Bowl. But, I'm not convinced that Kirk Cousins is any more special than I thought about him last week. So do you feel different from his performance yesterday?
Well, it's crazy because I picked the Redskins to win the division. But I just think they got a good overall offense. I don't think Kirk Cousins is something great. I think he's just a notch above Fitzpatrick. I mean, he made a couple plays, threw a key bomb to Jackson that kind of turned the tables for him, but I wasn't thoroughly impressed with Cousins at all.
This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. We talking NFL Week 3 action. Minnesota versus the Carolina Panthers. Sam Bradford threw a touchdown pass to Kyle Rudolph. I think Marcus Shrills returned a punt for a score as well. The Minnesota Vikings came into Carolina, your backyard, J.O., and did their numbers on Cam Newton. You had predicted Cam Newton and them was going to handle this game. You felt like clearly all across the board Carolina was a better football team than the Minnesota Vikings, and that definitely was not the case. So what do you got to say about what you saw yesterday from your boys Cam and them at home, losing for the first time, I think, in 2 years at home?
This loss is solely on Cam Newton. I thought Cam Newton, man, it's like he's regressing into the Cam of past, where he was just wildly inaccurate. His mechanics is off. His footwork is terrible. Cam. That's why sometimes it's just hard to put all your eggs in the basket with Cam, because he'd do something so amazing, and then he just mess it up entirely. I'm really not feeling his wardrobe after games. Look, we all know if you win in games, you can dress however you want to dress. If you performing, you can, look at Dennis Rodman when he was winning championships. Nobody cared what he had on, but I just think it's unprofessional for him. You play terrible on the field, and then you go on your press conference and wear some Waldo glasses and a Willy Wonka hat. It's like, come on, like, what is you taking your craft serious? Like, what are you doing here? So, I don't know, man. Just a bad overall game for the team.
I actually liked the wardrobe yesterday. You didn't like it? I like the hat. You didn't like it?
No, you don't wear not when you lose. You look like a fool. Look, when you lose, you look like a fool. When you win, you look cool.
But, 21 for 35, 262 yards. He had 3 interceptions yesterday. I mean, he looked like a fool on the field. So
crazy to me.
But that's why I said, man, this 3 was fool's gold. I think you cannot count on Cam Newton to have these types of games consistently in this season or career overall period. But Minnesota's defenses, they clearly showed yesterday, man, that they are serious about what they're doing. They now 3-0, without Adrian Peterson. You talk about Sam Bradford. He seems to be just a game manager, but he seems to be comfortable right now in that offense. I'm surprised, man. I did pick Minnesota to win this game because of their defense, but 22-10 in Carolina, they didn't miss a beat. Some other scores in the NFL: the Buffalo Bills 33-18 over the Arizona Cardinals. We had the Tennessee Titans, Marcus Mariota losing 17-10 to the Oakland Raiders. The Miami Dolphins 30-24 over the Cleveland Browns. Your boy, Aaron Rodgers, that bad man. Oh, man, he had my fantasy. I was number 1 in the fantasy pool yesterday thanks to that bad man, Aaron Rodgers. 34-27 over the Detroit Lions. Detroit cannot pull a win in Green Bay. They did it last year. Couldn't do it this year. What was your thoughts on your squad?
Well, I thought we punched them in the mouth early. I didn't like how we necessarily finished the game, but it was great seeing Jordy Nelson with a couple TD passes, to build his confidence. I still don't think he's all the way like he used to be. I'm not even sure if he will ever become that player again. ACL is tricky. But, I'm still not too happy with our secondary. Darius Randall, the second-year guy, he's just giving up touchdowns every single week. We're missing Shields right now. So, if I had to nitpick, our secondary is average at best at the moment. But, good seeing Peppers make a few plays as well.
What about A-Rod's performance? So, in your opinion? Because of the lackluster competition, because you've been nitpicking everybody else about the competition that they've been playing in opposition. So, what's your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers getting 4 or 5 touchdowns against the Detroit defense?
I thought he played well. If I gave him a grade, I'd give him a B+.
And Denver Broncos 29-17 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Also, the Los Angeles Rams 2-1. They beat Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 37-32 yesterday. My Baltimore Ravens 3-0 on the year. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in a tough battle 19-17. The Seattle Seahawks, they lost Russell Wilson early on, but they was able to beat the San Francisco 49ers 37-18. Russell Wilson may be out for a while. What's your thoughts on Seattle now? They 2-1, but without Russell Wilson, what's your thoughts on them moving forward if they lose for an extended period of time?
I don't think he's going to miss much time. I know it was a bad angle. I think he was willing to come back in the game and finish the game, but with the game being out of hand, they kept him out for a precautionary reason. I think he'll be all right, man. Wilson is, I don't know, man. That guy is just made of steel. So I expect him to miss no time, and I'm not too worried about his injury. He just got to slide more often, go out of bounds. He's been taking too many hits this season, so we just got to look out for that.
The way it looked was just real ugly. The way his knee bent yesterday. He said it looked worse than it was. He said he was able to put pressure on it. So we'll see. But, they were very impressive against the San Francisco 49ers, a division rival, without Russell Wilson for the most part, winning by almost 20. So I think they're in a good position for the remainder of the year, as long as they don't miss any more key pieces. The Kansas City Chiefs handily beating out the New York Jets 24-3. Also, Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts get their first win of the season, knocking off Phillip Rivers and the San Diego Chargers. The game, to me, that was probably the most surprising, J.O., let's get into it. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. What was your thoughts on the 34-3 win from the Philadelphia Eagles?
I always bought it to Wentz. I thought should have been a number 1 pick. I thought he was the best quarterback in this past draft. So I'm not surprised on Wentz play. I am surprised with how dominant the defense has been at times, especially with locking up Pittsburgh, with their offense. So I don't know. I think Wentz is just sort of uplifting everybody, and once you have a spark, somebody come on new to the team. He's a rookie. He's new to the team. The team got a different identity and he got a different swag. So kind of reminds me of when Michael Vick was playing in his younger days. The defense played better than what people thought. You just need that spark. So I don't know, man. They better than we thought.
Yeah, I got to give them some respect. To me, again, there's a little bit of fool's gold on week 3 overall, this game included. I don't think Pittsburgh is that bad to lose 34-3. They had potentially one of the most high-power offenses, so for them not to put up a touchdown is a little bit of fool's gold to me. But, Carson Wentz, the addition of Carson Wentz to Philly, man, that makeup is so Philly-like. Like, they so rough. And you brought up that defense, man. That defense was shut down yesterday. Like, Antonio Brown, 12 receptions, 140 yards. Again, no touchdowns for the second straight week by Antonio Brown. Carson Wentz threw for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he stay in that pocket. Him and Dak Prescott is going to go neck and neck, I believe, at least until Tony Romo come back for Rookie of the Year. Like, those two guys are unprecedented. It's going to be interesting to see who gets that one. But Philly is looking real, and defense wins championships. And as long as they can keep holding it down defensively, they're definitely giving me a scare when it came to the New York Giants, my New York Giants pick coming out of the NFC East. So the Philadelphia Eagles seem to be real. They put off a big-time win, 34-3 over the Pittsburgh Steelers, so that was crazy.